In this world, technology reigns supreme. The line between reality and fantasy is more and more blurred, and recently, one creation has started to rise even further above the rest: artificial intelligence. And while technological advancement is always exciting, this one feels like the start of a changed tech-led world. In particular, one program has started to make waves not just through this tech nerdtopia, but into the general public as well.
ChatGPT.
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 ChatGPT, a text-based AI chatbot. And for the next 7 days, I'm going to use it to hack my self-improvement. So it's Sunday night and I'm getting ChatGPT to sort the next 7 days out for me. I'm asking it to plan my schedule, meals with recipes and a shopping list. It also needs to make sure it incorporates some cardio training and tell me where and when I need to do that. I also want it to help me out with my interview preparation. Maybe ask it what sort of clothes I should be picking up for a new minimalist wardrobe, and generally just make sure my life stays on track. Oh, and I might try and make it save me a bit of cash while I'm at it. So there's a fair amount for it to do. So me and GPT got, well, chatting. I'd not dug into the more personalised stuff quite so much. And I'll be honest, to start with, it was frustrating. But eventually, after about half an hour, it had got me to a high-level schedule for my week ahead, a meal plan for every meal, taking into account all my preferences, and a running plan based on time instead of distance, which I honestly hadn't thought of and kind of liked. After a tiny bit of personal amending, I was all set. But tomorrow's tests were slightly more important. Food is really important to me. And to be honest, I had some reservations. I normally need something that's going to blow my socks off in terms of flavour, but this week I'm just going to have to go without. I gave it a shot. Some of the meals were actually pretty good, but I did have to tweak a few recipes to get them to the level that I needed. But hey, it gave me some meal ideas which made my life much easier, and I spent next to no time thinking about it once it was all set up. While a bit frustrating to get the prompt right, generally, I got a decent set of nutritious meals that got me through the week. And in the grand scheme, they weren't super expensive and they were pretty tasty. Not perfect, but by all means not bad. And fundamentally, not having to think about my next healthy meal made eating healthily extremely simple. A definite boost.
Let's rock.
I'll be honest, ChatGPT actually came through for my interview prep. Like, why would I talk to an actual human when I could just simulate it with a machine, right? It gave me some really helpful contextualized questions. It summarized the job description into key points. And generally, it saved a lot of time when it came to getting it all in one place to start my preparation. But it's only as good as the information you give it. And to be honest, a lot of what I got from it, I probably could have got with a very small amount of research. It was quite surface level, but nevertheless a really useful tool, and the fact that I was able to actually simulate a practice interview, albeit by text, was really, really helpful for me. I am going to entirely blame it if I don't get the job though. But while ChatGPT was taking on my challenges, earlier that day I'd faced a bit of a hiccup that could have thrown my whole schedule off track. So it's Monday morning, I'm just doing my morning routine, but I did fail to get up and go for a run this morning. I need to prep for my interview this afternoon, so there's not going to be time later. So I think I'm going to ask ChatGPT how I can make sure I actually stick to the positive habits I'm trying to build. How do I make sure that tomorrow, when I need to get up and do the same thing, I don't just stay in bed because it's warm? So let's see what sort of things I can put into place with ChatGPT's help to make sure that I stick to what I'm trying to do. So to make sure I stayed on track, ChatGPT told me to complete a bunch of stuff that evening. Plan my route, lay out my clothes, and set a specific intention to make sure I go for a run the next morning. It also recommended that I use a running app and find a running buddy. That last one required friends, so I ignored it, but lo and behold, I woke up and went for a run. And then I went for another, and another. It worked. Score one for the robot. It's Wednesday evening, 3 days in, and I'm still not convinced I'm putting ChatGPT through its paces. I want ChatGPT to create me a new wardrobe. I have a terrible fashion sense, and I'm hoping AI can't do much worse. I also want to get a bunch of long-standing chores done that I was meant to do when I moved in and just haven't. And that was 6 months ago. I also want ChatGPT to build me a reading list for some more self-improvement books so that I know what to read each time I finish a book. And I want some resources to help me with my job. And actually, let's not forget the fact that I need something to make you subscribe to this channel. Let's start with that. If you're finding this video helpful and want to see more self-improvement content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified every time I upload. I also want to hear your thoughts on the video so far. So leave a comment and let's start a conversation about how we can use technology to improve our self-improvement journeys. Now, let's get back to the video and see how ChatGPT could help me hack my self-improvement journey. First, fashion sense. Here's the before, bit of a disaster, and here's the after. Is it better or worse? Let me know in the comments. Chores. Well, on my first dish, it smashed and took a part of me with it. So I asked AI what to do. It told me to go to the hospital, you idiot. But after all of that drama, I did still manage to get a few bits done, just slightly impaired. I was actually really impressed by the reading list. I got on Amazon, I bought a couple more that I can get onto once I finish reading this. And actually the resources were excellent too. I'm subscribed to a couple of good blogs now, and I even started reading more about ChatGPT thanks to ChatGPT, which, to be honest, is just a bit of a shocker. As the week went on and a bit of sun came out over London, I began to find better ways to make ChatGPT work for me. I learnt that using it as a complementary tool rather than relying solely on its responses was the most effective approach. I kept giving it too much information, which overwhelmed it, so instead I let it try things and then amended its responses to fit my needs. With this method, I was able to get much more accurate and appropriate responses, which made life much easier. And as the weekend came to a close, I have to admit, I was pretty impressed.
Fair play.
ChatGPT has been a really helpful tool for me this week. It's sort of my shopping lists, given me recipes to try, it's written most of this script, found me resources, and even helped me prep for an interview. Fundamentally, it's made my work more efficient, and it's definitely made self-improvement easier. But it has its limitations. It's really difficult to integrate it into any sort of external schedule. Its attempt at British humour was absolutely dreadful. It sounded like it was from the 1950s. And it will also confidently lie to you, which means you basically have to manually fact check anything that it comes out with that's, well, based on fact. Finally, it didn't keep me out of A&E, but that one might be my own fault. Overall, I would recommend using ChatGPT as a complementary tool. It's absolutely perfect for when you don't know where to start with something, and often with self-improvement, that's exactly what you need. A springboard. Once I stopped letting it govern me and started taking a little bit more control, it became a really organic part of how I approach self-improvement. However, this feels like a stepping stone. With AI moving into the mainstream and becoming more obvious in its benefits, this is a really exciting advancement for the technological world. The world is certainly changing, and OpenAI are only just starting. With GPT-4 and whatever else is to come, who knows how good this can be. AI has helped me in this video with my script, my audio, the thumbnail ideas, and it even helped me before I started this challenge with putting together my morning routine, which you can check out here on the channel. Let me know what you want to see in the future, subscribe if you're new, and as always, keep moving forward.